Hey everybody, have you ever wondered what should you bring to the field? Maybe what should you not bring to the field? Well, today I want to share with you some of the essential items that I think you should bring to the field that typically don't make the packing list, but will make your field experience a lot more enjoyable and even more productive. So make sure to tune in today to Chaplain University. Hey everybody, Drew here. Thank you for tuning in to the Tattooed Chap. On this week's Chaplain University, I'm going to be going over some of my favorite items to take to the field. But before we do, I want you to make sure to comment below. I really want you guys to know I do appreciate it and I really enjoy it when you guys communicate with me down below. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Let's get started and see what I have chosen. Oh, and one other thing. If I forgot something, make sure to comment below on something that you think I should be bringing to the field that you think is essential as well. You know, I want to learn from you because I don't know everything. You know some stuff too. So before we get started on those items, make sure to follow me on Instagram at the Tattooed Chap. Also, you can follow me professionally on LinkedIn and we can get to know each other there as well. So let's get started and find out what the basic items are. So there's a lot of things that you want to bring with you when you go to the field, but you can't bring everything. So what are the things that are most important? Well, I have some ideas of some things that are basic that you should think about bringing with you to the field, especially if it's an extended field exercise, like at NTC or JRTC or some other place like that. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite things I like to bring with me that aren't necessarily mission essential, but help me stay comfortable while I'm in the field, and maybe they'll help you as well. So first and foremost, something that everyone should bring no matter what field exercise, maybe even if you're just going to the range with your Joes while they're shooting for the day, is you should bring baby wipes. Baby wipes can be used for everything. I don't need to get into the details, but they help you stay clean. They can get to the parts that other things can't get to and help clean those areas. But yeah, baby wipes are essential. No one likes a sneaky chaplain. So make sure to bring baby wipes and stay fresh. Number 2 on my list of essential things to bring to the field is a Jetboil or something similar to a Jetboil. I love my Jetboil. This Jetboil here comes in the cool like camouflage, OCPs, all that kind of stuff. It's cost $10 more to get the OCP stuff. I bought it like 3 or 4 years ago and I was like, oh, it needs to be cool, but tactical and all that stuff. But a black one would be fine. It's not gonna be that big of an imprint, you know, so you don't need to spend the extra 10 bucks. But what's cool about the Jetboil is you can bring a canister of fuel like this. They have smaller ones that actually fit inside the Jetboil. And then once you use the Jetboil, it like boils your water in like a minute and it's really cool. You can do a lot of things with a Jetboil. I like to take my canteen and fill it with boiling water and put it down at my feet in my sleeping bag at night. It helps keep me warm and it's really cool for that. I get sick of eating MREs. And so one of the things that I do is I bring instant oatmeal and instant coffee and I have breakfast right there. If I don't want to eat an MRE, but I'm kind of hungry, I'll just cook a thing of oatmeal and it's really quick. And there's nothing like having good tasting coffee when you're out in the field. The military does not make good tasting coffee. And so having a Jetboil, you can make that. I have a friend that actually brings his Jetboil and he also brings a fridge press and he goes all out. I'm not one of those types. With the Jetboil, something else I think is really important is I have a very thick beard, and when you have to shave every day out in the field, it's hard to shave with cold water. And using the Jetboil in the morning, I make enough for my coffee, and I also keep a little bit left over for my shaving, and that goes a real long way. So Jetboil is like, after baby wipes, Jetboil's next there up on my list. But one thing I do think is important to bring out, and that's also on my list, and that leads me to the next one, is having either tea or instant coffee like Starbucks Via Coffee. This stuff is awesome, and you can see this is my leftovers from my last field exercise. I keep them in here, and I know exactly where it's at. I can bust out a coffee real quick or tea if I want to relax for the night, and it's just really nice to have. And it's just really nice to have when you're out in the field, have something nice and warm that tastes good and can kind of bring you a little bit of that comfort from home, especially if you're a coffee guy like me and want coffee all the time. Something that can go along with the Jetboil, but not necessarily on my list, but I think it's an honorable mention, is I have my metal coffee cup so I can drink coffee. Yeah, it's not really tactical, but it's cool anyways. And I also have my more like a canteen cup that I use for my oatmeal. You don't need these things. If you have a canteen cup, you can use it for all those, but I like having them separate and all that stuff. Something else that I think is essential to have in the field that often people don't think about are plastic bags. Plastic bags are awesome because you can put things in them, and when it rains, they don't get wet. Or if it's really sandy, it doesn't get the sand in it. Phones, putting them in a plastic bag and the sand doesn't get into the electronics or scratch the screen or things of that nature. You can use the larger ones for putting maps in there so that your map doesn't get wet. I've even used these to wash socks and underwear in. Put a little bit of detergent in there, throw a little bit of water, and wash them. Then you have fresh socks and fresh underwear for the next couple days. So a lot of uses for these plastic bags. I always bring like 5 or so of each one. Sometimes I go through them all, sometimes I don't, but I'd rather have them than not have them. They don't take up a lot of space. Another thing that I think is really important, I'm not gonna take it out, but I'll have a picture so you guys see what this looks like. It's called a TRX. And when you're out in the field for 2 weeks or a month and you can't work out, there's nothing to work out with, doing push-ups and squats, kind of gets old real quick. This allows you to do multiple different types of exercises using suspension handles that you can attach to any of your vehicles. Some tents you can even attach them, and I end up using these a lot. Other soldiers come and use them too, and we have workout sessions, and they're just really nice to have, and it doesn't take up that much space, and it's not super heavy. Something else that I think is really important are hot hands. Now, I've spent most of my military career in places where it gets really cold at night, and when you're in the field and it's cold, it gets miserable. These hot hands come in handy. I'll put them in my pockets to keep me warm. I'll put them in the back of my gloves, keep my hands warm. I'll put them in my beanie to keep me warm. And if you don't want to do the boiling the water, putting it inside your canteen type thing that I mentioned, you can put these in the bottom of your sleeping bag and put them in a beanie, put them on your head when you go to sleep, and it'll help keep you warm too. So for not a lot of space, these things go a long distance, so I really recommend hot hands. They're pretty cheap. Go to Costco, buy them in bulk, maybe on Amazon, but awesome stuff that you need to have. Something else that I think is really important is having a charger of some nature. And I say that because if you're like me, you like to have tunes to drown out other people and so on and so forth. Sometimes cell phones aren't allowed out in the field, and that's okay. You can use your iPod or something like that, some other kind of MP3 player. I recommend a solar charger. I don't know where mine is right now. It's in one of my field bags and I didn't want to dig it out, but here is a charger that I got for like $4 at Walmart. It's just an extra battery life. This thing will charge my iPod for a long time and will have several recharges in it. So sometimes this is the only thing I bring depending on what the mission is and what the field exercise is. So something like this, very cool, handy, doesn't take up a lot of space, but the solar one is even better, especially if you're doing something in the summertime or a place where there's a lot of sun, but they're also a lot more expensive. Everybody should have a Gerber or a Leatherman, some kind of multi-tool that they can have. I mean, this thing has pliers, it has wire cutters, it has a screwdriver, it even has like can opener stuff on it. Not that I've ever used that in the field, but it has a knife, which is nice and handy. And if you are a person, if you're out in the field and you don't have one of these, you're failing yourself and you're failing the people around you. I don't know how many times I used one of these. Even as a chaplain, I've used one of these to fix a generator out in the field. So cutting rope, really doing a lot of things. So for $25, you can buy a decent one. This one's probably like a $20, $25 one. You can buy it. This thing could last you several years, and it is super handy. So make sure to grab one of these and take it to the field with you. Something else that a lot of people don't think about, and it kind of depends on what kind of unit you're in and what your mission is and where you're gonna be at, but one thing I always bring with me is my field chair. So this is just a little rinky-dink field chair, real tree. I bought it at Walmart, 6 years ago now. I bought it when we were deployed to fight fires in the California National Guard, and it was like a quick turnaround. Get here now, get here fast. We're gonna go fight fires. We worked hard, but we also had a lot of time that was downtime. And if you didn't have something to sit in, and you're sitting on the ground, it's nice to sometimes have a stool to sit on. This doesn't take up a lot of space, and so you can take this with you when you go to the field, put it in your rucksack or something like that. REI has a lot of them that are a lot smaller and more compact, but they're more expensive. I think I got this for 10 bucks at Walmart, but you can get some really nice ones if you're willing to spend 30, 40, 50 bucks that are really lightweight, don't take up a lot of space, and can be really comfortable. Having a chair so that you can relax, something that you can go to, can be very beneficial. And as a chaplain, this has also worked as a makeshift table a few times in the field. Put some cardboard on it, and there you go. You have yourself a little table. I've used it to put communion on, and I've also used it to put like my speaker on, so when I'm playing worship music. So over my 13 years of military experience, both being enlisted and as a chaplain, being in the Guard and being active duty, like these things are kind of things that I keep going back to, things that I find helpful. They're not necessarily on the packing list, but they are things that make the experience much more enjoyable or productive. And so I highly recommend checking these out. I'll have links to a lot of this stuff in my notes. Again, you can probably find most of the stuff at Walmart or REI or on Amazon. Shop around, there's different styles of this stuff, but definitely worth getting many of these things. And if you don't have the money, just maybe get one thing each time and build up your field kit, if you will. So let me know in the comments below if I forgot something. Is there something that I should be bringing to the field that's basic for most every soldier that I forgot? If I forgot it, put it in the notes below so we can learn from each other. And also, if you found value in this, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. I'll have some other stuff coming out. I'm gonna be doing another one of these videos here shortly of essential items that chaplains should be taking to the field based off of my experience. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. God bless, and